Amendments 13, 14, and 15, the Reconstruction Amendments. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery. It was ratified in 1865 following the Civil War. It states neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States nor any place subject to their jurisdiction. So what people can be held in involuntary servitude? Well, criminals, because they can be put into prison. And this would end the notorious 3/5 clause because no longer are there slaves. The 14th Amendment it's several very important things. Firstly, and it's very lengthy, I'll read portions of it again, but you check the whole thing out. It was ratified in 1868, again following the Civil War. States that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the states wherein they reside. So it's important to understand the 13th Amendment freed the slaves. The 14th Amendment makes them citizens. It goes on to say that, just to summarize here, that the Privileges and Immunities Clause and due process have to be extended to the states. So the states have to protect those particular rights. And then it goes on to say that no state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So any person there, important to understand. The second section deals with representation, and it is basically undoing the 3/5 compromise by stating that they shall count the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. There's also a voting rights clause in here as well. The last two sections deal more with issues pertaining directly to the Civil War, like representatives. No representatives who rebelled will be allowed to serve again, and then the U.S. is not going to pay any Confederate debts. So which of these clauses is probably the most important? This amendment is super important, but one that has been litigated quite a bit has been the Equal Protection Clause, which states that the states are not allowed to deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. And so relevant cases for this one, Plessy versus Ferguson, but that was overturned by Brown versus Board of Education. Korematsu versus United States, which is an interesting one to think about during World War II, and then also Roe v. Wade. So a lot has been determined on this. So the 14th Amendment was necessary because the racism and prejudice would have kept the African Americans from ever gaining an equal footing. Something to consider there. And the 15th Amendment, that race is no bar to vote, states the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. And so those three things are the reasons that the right to vote cannot be denied by the states. However, you can think about it this way. In 1870, when this amendment was ratified, states could still deny the right to vote based on sex, age under 21, and if you had a criminal record.